Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we have a haul, but when don't we have a haul? I swear I do other things. So today's haul is my February haul. At first I was unsure if I should even do a video for my February haul because it wasn't going to be very big, and then I had a few different things happen, ended up with me receiving manga, hence why we now have a video. So in this haul I have only received manga from 3 different places. 1, I got a wonderful parcel from Caketinz. 2, I got a wonderful parcel from Yen Press. And 3, I went to London for Ben's birthday. Otherwise, that's it for me in manga in February. Most of this is also that London trip, to be fair. And I know that generally this isn't a small haul for most people, but it is for me, which is, I'm really sorry. I'm really excited to show you some of the things that I received or picked up, so we'll get into it. As always, if you haven't already, remember to give this video a like and subscribe for lots of manga content. If you're interested in early access, be sure to check out my channel members for 99p a month, and be sure to join the Dudette Discord server. We have just hit 1,000 members, so I am in the middle of trying to put together a whole big celebration fun extravaganza thing. I think we should just dive straight into it. So the first volume we have is Acid Town Volume 2, which I picked up in the sale section in Forbidden Planet London. I think, yeah, a lot of this is going to be a sale section in Forbidden Planet London. What I find real interesting about this series is that the stickers for the sale is under the plastic wrap, which means that they plastic wrapped it themselves after stickering them. But what I find confusing is I thought it was already a plastic wrap series from Tokyo Pop, or actually no, Tokyo Pop might not plastic wrap their series. Never mind, ignore me. I still thought it was interesting that they still plastic wrapped over the stickers, though there are a few other plastic wrap series I've noticed that Forbidden Planet seems to, whereas Forbidden Planet International in Leeds seems to plastic wrap using like comic bags and then sellotape them shut, whereas the one in London, I don't know if they have like a manga wrapping machine, whatever the word is, they seem to do it themselves, which is interesting. Next we have Akane Banashi Volume 4. I have not read my Volume 3 yet. I've read 1 and 2. I so far have not been blown away by this series. A lot of people have, and I'm kind of worried that the hype ended up getting to me, which it would be a real shame if that is the case, because I don't like it when other people's opinions end up swaying me. I like going into a series with so I can completely form my own opinion without any external forces. That makes sense. It's one of the reasons I've been putting off reading Chainsaw Man, because definitely did a number on me with when it came to Demon Slayer. I think I'd have potentially enjoyed Demon Slayer more if the hype hadn't been as crazy. And I'm worried I'm feeling the same with this. I'm just not so sure about the whole premise, if it's my kind of thing reading about it. Hey yo, I think that might just be a me thing, which is fine. Next we have Akko and Bambi Volume 1. This was sent to me by Yen Press. I haven't managed to read this volume yet. However, it is currently March and I am doing another one of my vlog as I go reading vlog month things. I seem to do it every 6 months, and the last one was September. The first one was in March, then September, so we're doing another one now. And I'm going to read all the Empress series that I received first. They are like my first hit list. I have read a few of them, but I haven't read this one yet, but I will get to it. I find it neat looking inside that it's got some colour, but it's just like 1 or 2 colours. I think it's just like blue and red, which looks rather neat, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that potentially plays into the story or influences me as I'm reading. Next, as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world 6, bought in the Forbidden Planet sale section. So for a long while I thought for some reason I already had this, and actually what happened was I pre-ordered it and then cancelled it. I need to sort my spreadsheet out. It is a little bit behind and messy. I just need to sit for a day and just spreadsheet away. I haven't read this one yet. It's one of the isekai on my hit list. Maybe after I've tackled that Yen Press stack, I might try and go through and read all my isekai volume 1s that I'm behind on, because this is one of them. Next we have another one that I received from Yen Press, and that is B-Strings Volume 1. I'd not heard of this at all, and I was very surprised to see that it's actually in full colour. Now, I have no idea on the premise of the story. I don't know what it's about. I just saw some very prominent chests. I hope I didn't flick to that page when showing you. Ooh, some of these panels are really pretty. It feels like it kind of like flicks through different colors. If I can show you maybe this way. So we kind of got yellow. Sorry, you can actually, if I flick it like that, you can see on the pages, it's like a rainbow. Oh, it's got to be like a rainbow in the inside of the book. Oh, it's something I didn't know I needed in manga, but now I do. So like I'm not sure I can show some of these. Okay. Super duper excited to read this one now. Super duper excited. I don't know what the premise is, but it's a rainbow. Business Proposal Volume 3. This was very kindly sent to me from Caketinz. Thank you so much, Emma. I very much love you so much. Thank you. This is also one I'll probably try and read this month. I've really enjoyed this manhwa. It's kind of similar to What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. Very rich, grumpy man falls for lady who works for him, I guess. Office Korean drama. I don't know if it's a very common trope. I'm quite new to the whole scene, to be honest, but 2 series in quite rapid succession have come out following that trope, so I'm going to assume probably, but I am here for it. I really love it, and this is such a nice purple. I love the shade of purple, and there's like I like mint green. I think this colour and mint green, they're my 2 favourite. And they look so nice complementing each other. Our next pickup is Children of the Whales Volume 23, and this is the final volume in the series. It's complete at 23 volumes. I am very, very behind on reading it. I think I've read the first 3. But it is one of my IRL friends' series that she loves, and I like reading series that she's reading because it's fun to talk to her about it. I'm very much behind her. I don't think she's up to date anymore. I think I told her that I'd picked up the final volume and she was like, that's out! A very, very pretty series, and it's always funny to tell people that this is actually a shoujo because it doesn't seem that way. It's always funny to beat down those demographic walls. So when I was in London for Ben's birthday, Ben really wanted to go to Waterstones to look at some real books. I know I don't get it. But while I was there, I went and looked at the manga, and usually I try to not pick up too much retail price manga. If I film, I'll buy something because like I feel guilty. Like I've come in, I filmed, I need to buy something. I did film I filmed like a TikTok reel video, which unfortunately was too long to put on YouTube. But if you're interested in seeing it, it is on my TikTok. And I did pick up some things. I try to, if I'm picking up retail, I'll try and pick up volumes I just don't tend to see anywhere else, even if it means they're a little pricey. So I picked up a few. The first one I picked up was Princess and the Frog. Usually I find Disney volumes in Waterstones for some reason, and I grabbed this one. Do I have high expectations? Absolutely not, but I really like Disney, and I kind of am enjoying collecting all this Disney manga. Dungeon of Bat Company Volume 9, bought in the sale section for $4.99, because they always seem to be $4.99 in the sale section. Still not gotten to reading this one yet. I have like such a random splattering of volumes now because I see them in sale sections. I'm kind of holding off to pick it up otherwise, especially, well, if I just wait I can get more volumes like this. Ben read some of it and wasn't that keen, which, considering I think he said it was also an isekai, is surprising and not good for the series if Ben isn't keen on it, because he likes his shitty isekai just as much as I do, and if he's like, probably means that I might not be as keen either. The Girl I Saved on the Train turned out to be my childhood friend volume for sale section, $4.99. Another series that seems to appear in the sale section. I haven't started reading it, but I think, do I now have a gap now? Actually, it looks slightly damaged looking at the spine. I'm not sure if it's going to focus on it very well, but it's got a bit of a dent going down it. I mean, it was $4.99. I'm not that bothered. Given volume 8, this was also very kindly given to me by Geeky Dreams. I am now only missing one volume of Given before I have a clear run. I believe it's volume 4. It often does pop up secondhand, so I'm probably going to hold off at this point until I can find it secondhand, or if I need to make a 3 for 2. I am starting to slightly reach a point where if I need to make a 3 for 2 and I'm trying to find just another volume to make up, I'm starting to struggle a little, especially when it comes to Viz series or Sublime series. I don't even think I have a huge amount of Sublime. I just don't think there's often that many on shelves. I have a lot of the newer stuff, and I need some of the older stuff. Another series kindly gifted from Yen Press, God Bless the Mistaken, Volume 1. I had not heard of this volume series either at all in the slightest, but I'd seen a few other people who were quite hyped to see that this got a license when I went to go look at it, look it up a bit. So I am now looking forward to it as well. I find a lot of Yum Press stuff I'm really enjoying nowadays, and it isn't just me saying that because they send me stuff, but they publish a lot of isekai, villainess stuff, a lot of the manhwa is really good, even the slice of life stuff. Now there is stuff that I haven't enjoyed, and I've been vaguely vocalish about it, some like Stray Cat, Bocce the Rock, but I do still enjoy a good chill slice of life series, just when things are calm. Okay, I'm going to do these next two together. We have A Hero in the Demon's Castle and Happy of the End. Now both of these I picked up in Waterstones. These are both Kuma imprints, which is I think the LGBT variant of Faku, I believe that. So Faku is published by Dempa, and Faku is like an imprint. I think Kuma is like the equivalent, I believe, which I found it really interesting that this one's not plastic wrapped. Now I'm not going to flip through it just in case. The other one is, this one is plastic wrapped. I really enjoy collecting some of the more mature reads. It's really a polite way of putting it. So when I realised that there was a whole darn imprint that I had kind of skipped over, I decided to rectify that and started picking more of these up. I think I now have about 5 of these now. I'm not sure how many there are. So this one doesn't have a number on the side, but that one does. That one just says number 1 underneath the title. So I kind of assume it won't darn focus, will it? It does have a number 1 on there, I promise you. So I promise you. So hopefully there'll be more of that one. Hollow X Meeting Volume 1, another one from Yum Press. They sent me quite a few. It was amazing. I wasn't even expecting it either. It just arrived, it was glorious, I had the best day. All I think I know about this is it's potentially VTubers, which I am excited about. VTubers are always fun. I hope it's another like silly cute slice of life really. I got caught up in A Hero Summons, but the other world was at Peace Volume 6, and this one wasn't $4.99, it was £3. £3 whole pounds is exactly how much this series is worth. It's not a great isekai, it's fine. I'm not even sure it's fine. I found it a bit dull, so I've really not rushed to pick up more volumes. I am now behind, and I might actually have a gap with this volume now. It does pop up in sale sections, so yeah. It's a guy is isekai'd in a group of people, which was a mistake. Only one of the people in the group were meant to be isekai'd, and the rest of them are kind of stuck there for a year until they're able to perform the ritual again, or whatever, to send them home. It's fine, it's okay. I'm not gonna probably recommend it. If the villainess and the villain met and fell in love, she was all but disowned for her spirit contract, but she's still competing with her rival Volume 1. Another one sent by Yum Press, and one I have actually read. Of course I read this one first. It's a villainess title. I love my villainess titles. You know what? I really love my villainess titles when they're not actually a villainess, which is exactly what this one is. She has kind of been painted out to be a terrible person, but she's really, really not. And as a lot of villainess series tend to start out, it starts with her fiance, the prince, dissolving their engagement, and she's like, what do I do now? And she decides to throw herself into studies because she kind of gave it up when she became engaged to him, and all she really wants is to pursue a doctorate. Along the way, she kind of ends up forming some form of camaraderie with like the villain in the class, not the class, I'm not sure they're in the class, the same school. And they kind of start to compete a bit together, and she kind of earns his respect, I guess. So far, I think it's okay. I love it because it's villainous, obviously, but in terms of villainous, I think it's fine so far. I probably want some more world building before I can like give a better thought process on this, I think. I'm standing on Million Lives Volume 3 for $1.99. I mainly have started picking this series up in Forbidden Planet London sale sections. I have no hopes for the series. I have a random splattering of volumes that I've paid 99p, $1.99 for. I've not paid much more. I don't think I've paid any higher than that, to be fair. I'm nowhere near close to being able to read the series, but once I do, I will let you know what I think. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess Volume 1, this is a new shoujo beat release from Viz. I read it on the train coming home. Personally, I wasn't that sold on it. I found it a bit, reading it. Basically, in this world, non-humans are treated appallingly. Randomly, people are born with non-human characteristics, such as a tail, ears, not human ears, like animal ears, maybe a fairy. And in this story, the princess of the kingdom that is very non-human, she is born half mermaid, or as a mermaid, I guess. So the premise of the story is kind of, she's been hidden away because the king is ashamed of her, and there are doctors, people trying to cure her mermaidism, I guess, so she can be presented to normal society. I'm doing all of this because this is like what they're saying in the story. In comes a tutor who is here to educate her on the customs of her fiance's country, because she's being married off basically, and he's come from this country to educate her on all the, I just said the word and I've got the word, I was going to say regulations, that's way too formal, how things are in this country. Dang it! And he kind of starts to say and suggest that maybe you're actually okay and fine the way you are. Maybe you being a mermaid is like, well, that's just you. Why should you be ashamed of who you are? I kind of hope it's going to pick up from now on, because, spoiler for the end of Volume 1, but it is a Volume 1 review, I guess. At the end of Volume 1, she does manage to escape from the kingdom, and I'm kind of hoping that this starts to lead into less, people being mean in general. It all just got a bit, oh no. Hopefully I enjoy it more, I think. Next we have Lonely Life in Another World Volume 1, picked up in Waterstones. It was eye-watering, I gotta be honest. $13.99. I nearly put it back at that price, to be honest. However, I have not seen this volume around too much, plus it seems to be a brand new publisher. It's not going to Focus, is it? It is Caketinz Books. I don't know if that's just an imprint of somewhere else. If anyone else happens to know any more about that, do let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear. But it sounds like an isekai in another world. Usually suggests an isekai. I can't say no when I see isekai, to be honest. My youth romantic comedy is Wrong as Expected at Comic 15. This one's brown. Some of them are such lovely bright vibrant colours on the spine. This one's brown. Picked up for $1.99 in Forbidden Planet London. I think almost the entire series I've picked up in sale sections, be it Forbidden Planet sale or Travelling Man warehouse sale. It's like, yeah. I haven't started reading it though. I still have quite a few gaps to be able to actually read it. It's just about hit 20 volumes, I want to say. That was a very long series. Next up, we have 4 volumes of Nana from Geeky Dreams. Once again, she's so wonderful, isn't she? Such a sweetie. We have 3, 6, 14, and 18. With this, I am 1 volume off completing Nana, and I'm fairly sure I have got it on order. Currently, a bunch of people are doing a Nana buddy read in the Discord server, and I'm really bummed I can't join in because 1, I'm missing 1 volume still, and I don't know when I'm going to do that unboxing, and 2, because I'm doing my reading vlog, I kind of want to try and read a whole bunch of different stuff, and I had something else in mind for when I do actually manage to get around to reading Nana. But it's so neat with all these Shoujo Beat series getting reprints, and so many people now have access to these series that they didn't even just a few years ago, and here they are. Just needed some patience. We'll get there. Next up we have Orient 17 in the sales section for $4.99, which actually made me really happy because it is a series that I had been actively trying to pick up, but I cancelled a bunch of my pre-orders from Forbidden Planet when Sci-Fi came along, and I did get back into staying up to date. I think I might now be missing 16, but I'm fine with that still. $4.99. Very happy. Next we have Ragnar Crimson Volume 9 for £3.50. This is Square Enix, which usually means that it RRPs at like $13.99 or even $14.99. So seeing this for £3.50 was insane. I haven't been able to see any damage on the volume. I don't know if maybe it was just lingering on shelves and they wanted rid of it, but that's crazy. I do have a gap now, and I think it is still a few volumes past this. I want to say it's in double digits now, and I don't have volume 8. I'm even sure I have a volume 7. Still very pleased with that pickup. Next we have Reborn as Space Mercenary Volume 5 for £3. This is one of Ben's current favourite light novels at the moment. I got him a couple for Christmas, and he like I think he read them like in one day. Like more than one light novel, I'm not sure, but he read them really quickly. He loves it. It's a sci-fi isekai, and there are not that many isekais that aren't set in like fantasy medieval sort of themes. And then there's this one, which is sci-fi. I have only read the first one, and then I struggled to find a couple of volumes of manga. I think I might still be missing volume 4 of this, but at £3 I wasn't going to pass this up, especially when Ben loves the series so much. Next we have Record of Ragnarok volume 9. I've realised I've not taken a whole bunch of these 3 for 2 stickers off. I picked this up in London, obviously. It's got a Forbidden Planet 3 for 2 sticker on. I really like Record of Ragnarok. The story is not amazing. I just like sometimes watching two dudes just wail on each other. It is very almost like a plot what plot, but there's no smart. Well, it depends. Sometimes some of the fights feel a little filthy. I also love all the backstories we're getting on the characters, on the gods, and it's almost like a guilty pleasure at this point. It's so bad and good in such a weird way. As we have Ruby volume 5 for £2.99. I'm not sure if this is the final volume or it's kind of just sort of an ongoing thing. It's starting to get a bit trickier to find this series. I don't know if it's held in any much regard. I mentioned it to a friend once and she was like, she didn't have anything great to say about, is it Rooster Teeth? I don't know who they are. But I am never one to pass up manga, especially when it's one that I can like, it's a consecutive volume that I need. I love that. As we have Sakura Saku volume 2. This is a recent series from Iyasaka Seka, same mangaka as Aha Ride, Love Me Not, Strobe Edge. So far, I have read my volume 1. I'm not really sold on the series. I think with Sakisaka series, when I first started reading more shoujo and I read Ahara Ride, and that was probably like the second shoujo series I ever read, and I was like, oh, this is wonderful, this is so cute, so sweet. And then having read more shoujo series since then, especially like high school romance shoujo series, I feel like they're kind of gone down a bit in my books. I think they're very pretty. And I adore these like watercolor covers. Her art style is beautiful to look at, but like the most common trope in her series always seems to be miscommunication, and it just grinds me so bad. It drives me up the wall. Now I get it, they're teenagers and miscommunication is such a pivotal part of being a teenager, but it just, there are so many other series that are fine and don't grind me. Grind's probably not the right word. It just aggravates me. I hope it improves, is what I'm saying. I think. As we have Sengoku Yoko Volume 2 for £4 in the Forbidden Planet sale section. I was really happy to see this one because I bought Volume 1 in the sale section over Christmas, and then I also found Volume 2 a couple months later. So over Christmas, I'm not sure when it was, but it was definitely the Forbidden Planet London sale section. So I have 2 in a row. This is a series that someone I know recommended to me and was like, it's quite an old series though, I don't know if you'll be able to find volumes. And I was like, actually, I think it only just started publishing vaguely recently-ish, which I think he was annoyed about because he has a real habit of recommending stuff that either A, is out of print, or B, does not have an English release. He finds it hilarious. It's very annoying. But here is one that did. As we have Shoha Shoten Volume 4, still not up to date with this one yet, and I was a bit unsure with Volume 1. I like the general premise of there's a goal of they want to try and perform on comedy circuits and stuff. I like series like that where there is like a big end goal that is established very early on in the series. However, I find the jokes really awkward to read and I'm cringy, but then again, English humour is very, very self-deprecating and maybe it's just not quite my kind of humour. I like the terrible kind of humour. Skeleton Knight in Another World Volume 11 for £4.99. I feel like this series, again, I'm only picking up on sale in sale sections. What does that say about the series? I hope it's fine. Because Ben likes the light novel. I actually quite like the volume of manga that I read, but now I'm like really trying to not pick up any more unless it's in sale sections, which is a bit of a pain because I now have like 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle 23. I have a real soft spot for the series. I think it's hilarious and I really need to catch up on my volumes. I have actually ordered a Nendoroid of the main character, Cialis. I'm never sure how to pronounce it. I've ordered an Nendoroid of the main character and she is so darn cute and I can't wait for her to arrive and I can put her with the series and she'll look so cute. Oh, I forgot about this one. We have another Kuma series, Song of Yoru and Asa. This might also be a one-shot since there is no number on the side, but yeah, that is another Kuma series in my collection. I still think that might bring it up to 5 or 6. I'll need to check my spreadsheet to see my count. Sword Art Online Hollow Realization Volume 6 for the pricey 99p. 99p. This is the final volume in Hollow Realization. If it'll focus this time, it does say it under the number up here. I love when series publish on the front or the back cover. I'm not fussy if it's the final one. I think that's excellent. If you're like flicking through different series and you're like, what's this? Oh, it's the final one. Excellent. It's so clear and obvious. I love it. Please can more companies do that. I know Yen Press does it a whole bunch. I'm not sure if Kodansha does, but I do love it when they do that. It's one step closer to building up my Sword Art Online manga collection. Next we have Taking Care of God volume, I was going to say volume 1, but I don't see a number on it. Maybe it's just a one-shot volume based on the short story by Hugo Award-winning author Shizin Liu. So I hadn't heard anything about this. I have actually ordered it on Sci-Fi already, so I do have a couple of duplicates from my Yen Press stack, which is fine. What I tend to do is just roll them out into some giveaways. As I said, we hit 1,000 members on the Discord server, so there are going to be giveaways on there, including some of these volumes. I'm not sure if I'll do this one specifically yet, haven't decided, but yes. The art style looks kind of neat though, so I look forward to getting into that. Next we have Undead Unluck 14. As I've said before, originally at the start of the series, I loved Undead Unluck. Well, I don't dislike it now. I definitely feel like I'm going off a little bit with the current arc. I just kind of wish there'd been a bit more to it and it wasn't just all sudden one. It feels like it's just been one big arc. There have been sub arcs for sure, but only I feel like the first like 5 volumes maybe, and now we've sort of already hit endgame, as has a lot of Shonen Jump series it feels recently, which is a shame. I need to see how it's going to wrap up because I have absolutely no idea where it's going, to be honest. How it wraps up will probably determine my overall feelings for the series at this point, because I'm kind of in that, I'm not really sure what's going on now. We'll see. Next up we have another volume from Yen Press, well, Ise Press, and it is Unholy Blood. I actually did just finish reading this volume this morning, and I think I'd seen a lot of hype for the series on social medias, in the Discord. I think I'm unsure at the moment. It is vampires, and we love vampires. Vampires are always fun to read about. It is very pretty. The vampire's very pretty. This main character is drawn so nicely and is beautiful to look at. Especially those, like, bright blue eyes. That's so nice. I don't know if that's weird. Basically in this story, vampires have kind of started to emerge from somewhere. We don't know where, but they've started to emerge. And they're kind of starting to kill people. No one knows where they came from, what they are, really how to stop them too much. So, which kind of enforced a nighttime curfew across the entirety of the world, I guess. And our main character, unfortunately, is kind of a vampire, but she's a special kind of vampire, a pureblood vampire, which means that she was, I think, born a vampire as opposed to being made into a vampire, which means she has more abilities. She's stronger, she's faster, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm sure will come to light the more we read into the series. But she's trying to hide and lay low. She just wants to live a normal life, but things are never that easy, are they? Nope, no they're not. I actually got quite sad reading this. I weeped a little. I did a little bit of a weep. It was a teeny weep, but it was a weep. Way of the House Husband Volume 11. I realise now, read my Volume 10. I do like Way of the House Husband, but it's a series that I'm like, where is it going? It's still going? What's happening? Not much is happening. It's a pleasant read. I think maybe I just need to be in the right mood for it, and I've just not felt the mood, unfortunately, because it is so nice to read and it's wholesome to read. It's just, I've not felt it recently. Maybe that's the issue over like the series itself. It's more I've just not been in the way the house has been mood. What This World Is Made Of, Volume 2. So just before we went down to London is when I did my big sci-fi buy with me 10% off last chance buying stream, and this was actually a volume I did nearly throw into my basket, and I ended up taking it out, and am I so glad that I did, because then to find it for £3.50, which was only going to be like half the price of what I was going to pay even with all the discounts. So I'm very pleased with this. I haven't read my volume 1 yet. I was mostly just trying to catch up on a bunch of Yempress series, because I feel like after Viz, Yempress tends to be the next cheapest. But I'm so happy that I found it. It was just like a yes. Another Yempress volume, Whoever Steals This Book, Volume 1. I have had a whole bunch of people say they were interested in my thoughts on this series, so this is probably going to be the next one that I read, maybe. Descended from a long line of book collectors, high school student Mifuru is surrounded by books in every aspect of her life. Oh my god, how relatable. Legitimately, I think at this point the only room that doesn't have books in my house is the bathroom. And if I put books in there, please someone stop me. I'm hoping it's a fun read. I hope it's wholesome. I hope it's sweet or fantasy. I'm not sure. As long as there's loads of books, I'm here for it. Wistoria, Wand and Sword, Volume 5 for £4. I have not started reading this series yet. I hadn't realised until recently that I had actually cancelled my volume 1 and I've not reordered it yet. It's the same author as Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which has like a so many spin-offs and manga volumes and light novels. I kind of hope it's just going to be a fun fantasy series, a bit of a mindless fantasy series. Sometimes I just really want to read a mindless fantasy series, and that's kind of what I'm hoping from this, but I need to now track down a volume 1. Not really a manga series, but I picked it up in the manga section, and I think technically it's published by Tokyo Pop. We have World of Warcraft Shadowing Volume 2. Ben has picked up at least one other World of Warcraft, I don't want to call them manga, but the graphic novel, I guess? Comic, maybe? He's picked up one more. There turns out there's quite a few of them. So I'm going to try and at least get him the rest if he doesn't want to pick the rest up himself. I feel like at this point he's just like, well, if I say I'm interested in a light novel series or a comic or a manga, Caketinz just going to buy it. And I'm like, yeah, probably. So I got him this one as well. Oh, Shadowing Nexus Point. I think Nexus Point is the subtitle of the series. Yeah, that's what it says on the spine as well. This is really like chunky and it doesn't flop at all. It is such a nicely made volume. I don't know if that's weird or not, but it does not like, where's another one? If I hold Wistoria, it does like, it flops. And then there's this one, which just, it doesn't. There is no floppage to that volume in the slightest. It's dense, but it also does not want to be opened. I have an awful pile of manga. It is not piled nicely. No one look at it and judge me. Our final volume of the haul is World's End Harem Fantasia Academy Volume 2 for £3.50. In fact, this was another volume that I nearly picked up in my sci-fi order and ended up not. So glad I did. So this is a spin-off of a spin-off. So World's End Harem is the main series. There's a spin-off called World's End Harem Fantasia, and this is a spin-off of that, World's End Harem Fantasia Academy. The premise of this is it kind of follows the story of World's End Harem Fantasia, but as a full coma. Now, I read the first one. I've read a good chunk of World's End Harem and a good chunk of World's End Harem Fantasia, and the first volume of this I have also read, and yeah, it just pretty much followed the plot. But what really was weird is, I mean, they're notoriously plastic wrap series. I feel like it's the go-to smut series. If a guy's like, oh yeah, you got a smut series? Is it World's End Harem? It's always World's End Harem. You know, there are other smut series out there. Reading this was weird because it's plastic wrapped, but there wasn't any smut in it. Maybe, I think actually in volume 1 there was like some side stories at the end, and I think they might have shown a boob. But that was it. That was it in terms of smut, considering how vaguely smutty the main series and the series is based on are. it just felt a bit strange. It was weird to read. So I got volume 2. I believe this actually completes at 3 volumes. I'm not sure why, considering I think Fantasia is still ongoing. Seems to happen vaguely often with 4-Coma series though. I'm not sure why. Anywho, £3.50 though. And there you have it. That was my slightly smaller February manga haul, predominantly London and London Forbidden Planet sale section. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe for lots more content. Check out my channel memberships for early access. You also get a whole bunch of really cute emotes when I do live streams, and I am doing a whole bunch more live streams at the moment. I am currently doing 2 this week. I have plans to try and do another in a couple of weeks and a whole bunch in April. And also join the Dudette Discord with the 1,000 member extravaganza on its way. I don't know when this video will go public because I never have my spreadsheet in front of me and I never look. If it goes in April, the extravaganza is still ongoing. If not, still come along and join. We still do a whole bunch of events and stuff. It'll be great fun. I promise you. I promise you. Otherwise, I hope you have the most wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye!